I'm live. Hello, everyone. Let me know if you can hear me in the chat. Just going to go ahead and click on some things real quick here and see if I can see anything. So, yes, we are live now. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me today, guys. Not really sure what's going to come out of my mouth today, but I'm here. Well, let's see. Hi, Fifi Jules. I'm so happy to have you here. Glad to have you for a live. Sorry I was not here last week. I wanted to be. Hi, Julian. Oh, wait, I thought that was someone else. Hi, James. You can tell how bad my eyes are. Oh, God. It's all right. Hi, James. Nice to see you here. Hello. All right, just I'm gonna kind of take my time and go a little bit slow here. I really have like no game plan today when it comes to like a logical order for how things are gonna come out or not. I'm kind of nervous about it. But you know, that's how it goes when you're doing live streams. Like, I'll be like totally pumped up about it and feeling like super like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to just get out there. I'm ready to just, hang out with my friends. Hi there, Brayden. Hi, Victor. Hopefully I'm seeing those names right. Okay, I'm going to look. Oh, hi, yeah, there we go. Hi. But yeah, usually that's how it goes. Like, I'll be all excited for the live stream, and then I'll get to the point where I'm about to go live, and then that's when the nerves kick in. So bear with me here as I talk a little bit slower. Hi, Geraldine. Nice to see you. So happy you're here. So happy all of you are here. I do really look forward to doing my live streams too. So I was actually really quite bummed last week when I wasn't able to get myself the time chunk that I needed in order to even do a live stream. I was like, I worked a lot though. I worked a lot last week. I really pushed myself. I worked over 40 hours, which is something quite different for me because I really was used to being a stay-at-home mom at this point. From last year, I was a homeschooling stay-at-home mom. I'm just reading some of the comments here. Oh, I love that, James. I really love that. That really cheers me up there because I'm not gonna lie, guys, I have been struggling. If you watched my last stream, especially if you managed to stick around to the end, I know some of you I talk to pretty much on a regular basis, so you kind of know that I've been struggling. Hi, Chris. Nice to see you. I'll tell you one thing I am getting excited about, though, that I will mention real quick. That is the upcoming Journey to Truth conference, Rebels of Disclosure. That'll be happening in May in Grafton, Illinois, which I'm absolutely definitely going to. So definitely come and hang out and meet us all in person, all the people that hang out in these live streams. Most of us are going to be going there, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah. So, yeah, I've just been door dashing a lot, trying to make a lot of money, seeing how much it's going to take to survive here, basically, on my own, which I absolutely love. I love that I am even capable of doing that. Like, it's quite the change. I will say, though, that the thing that has been hardest for me, though, has been not being here as much with my kids. I really love being a mom to them, and so I had to send my youngest son, William, back to a regular school because I could not DoorDash and put in the hours that I needed to put in with him in order to continue the homeschooling. So we switched that up, but he really doesn't seem to mind. And I think he kind of needed the to socialization a little bit more too. Even though there are some kids in the neighborhood, I really do love this neighborhood that we're in. So that's really nice that they have someone to play with, you know. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, making a home is very it's very much a lot of work. Yeah, it's been taking a toll on me trying to figure out how to balance this work schedule and still make time for my kids and still make time for these live streams or my friends even. Like it's taken a lot, but I'm pretty happy in the long run when it comes to how far I've been able to come and how I figured out how to juggle things. Like it's getting easier. I'm struggling, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I'm struggling. There are a lot of days that I'm not happy. There are a lot of days that I'm just out there driving and trying almost not to think, like wanting to be distracted. But when you're driving, okay, and you're by yourself, like that's all you can do kind of sometimes is just sit there and think about all the things, I've tried to put on YouTube videos to listen to and everything so that I can kind of distract myself. But and then when I come home, I have been watching some television here and there or live streaming services. I watch well, one of the things we're going to talk about today is the new show I've been watching called Doom Patrol. Hey there, Jesse. Thanks for showing up. So yeah, I have been watching a couple shows actually. I've been watching I've always been really into those paranormal investigation shows. I don't know if anyone's ever watched The Dead Files or there's this Ghost Adventurers, obviously. That's a pretty classic one. And what's the other one? There's this one called uh I have to remember what it is. It's called something about Terror in the Town or something like that, where this one has gotten pretty interesting. Although this guy keeps thinking that there's this demon that's on a property that is in where was it, Wyoming, I think it was. And they keep saying the name. Here's the thing: there's power in names. I truly believe that there's power in names, and so they literally keep saying this demon's name. And I'm not even going to say it on my stream. It'll be like, let's just put it this way: if you ever listen to Bohemian Rhapsody, Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody, okay, they mention this particular demon in the song, and supposedly it's like he's like second in command from like the highest one up or whatever. But they keep on saying it, and I'm just like, how are they even allowed to get away with these shows sometimes? Because they're literally showing people how to like summon these things. Okay, like he's trying to summon this demon in order to get information about what could be haunting the ranch and everything like that. But he keeps saying the name and they keep showing the name, and I'm thinking, they need to be more careful with this. Yeah, because I don't know. I've just always really been fascinated in paranormal stuff and spirits, in demonology, in things of that nature. And I actually did see a spirit here the other day in my house. I did. It was a little ball. Okay, it just flew past me real quick. And I was like, I wonder who that is. I wonder what that is. Hey there, Joanna. Let's see if there's anyone else I missed here. Hi, Hero. Nice to see you here again. I'm going to try and go a little bit slower just so that way I can remain coherent to a certain degree. Because like I said at the beginning of this, guys, I have not a real clear game plan for what I plan on talking about today. Okay. So, I guess I planned on just sharing some of the things that I've been, coming to terms with in my healing. Because I feel like that's really what I've been doing a lot here is I've been coming and I've been sharing my experiences with you and how I'm managing to move through it. Because I know I'm not the only one that goes through these things that I have been through. I'm not the only one that goes through abuse. Certainly not. And so I'm really just trying to find a way to get through it in the best way where I'm not like, oh, hi, White Swans. Oh my God. I did not send you a message. I didn't even invite you. God. I'm sorry, girl. I'm glad that you saw it though. I don't know. It's been chaos. I tried to DoorDash even some today before the stream, and it was terrible. It was a terrible DoorDashing day. So I usually make pretty decent money, but I was out there for 2 hours and I made like chump change, and I was getting order after order that was just like crap. I'm just like, how do people have the nerve to put through some of these orders where it's like they're literally giving me no tip, and DoorDash pays you $2.50 for a delivery, and you're expecting me to drive all these miles or even do a shopping order. Like, I got a shopping order today for 22 items. That takes a lot. It takes a lot to do that. So it just wasn't worth it today. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to focus on getting everything together so I can do this live stream. And anyway, back to the shows that I've been watching. So I've been watching these shows, but the favorite one that I've been watching lately has been called Doom Patrol. Okay, I'm trying to think if I want to talk about this character first or if I want to talk about some of the things that I've been going through. I think I'll talk a little bit about some of the things I've been going through first, and then we'll go over to the Doom Patrol character. Because, you know, I love my stories. I love my characters. I love being able to relate my own life and my own feelings to these characters that I talk with you guys about. Okay. And I have to say that having been through the narcissistic abuse, which, you know, I fucking hate that word. I hate it. You know, there's just some words especially in society or even in our spiritual community, there's just some words that have truly lost their meaning. The meanings have been corrupted, you know, so it's hard to use it without it feeling cringe. Okay. And narcissist, for me, the word narcissist, that has become like a cringe term for me, even though there is no other term that would better describe the situation that I went through. Okay. There's just no other term to describe it. I mean, when I watch the videos and help videos and stuff like that, or people discussing these types of things, it's like check, you know? And so I had to really, now that I'm out of that situation, it's like things are becoming more clear, because when you're in it, it becomes so confusing. You know, it's like it was hard to even tell people like what it was that was so abusive. You know, what was it? You know, I couldn't even describe it in the right way, because it's not like, and see, that's the trick with covert narcissism particularly, is it's covert. It's not like it's not the grandiose version that most people, when they think of a narcissist, they think of, you know, someone who's like big and bold and you know, speaks of himself a lot, thinks clearly, it feels entitled and all of these things, and you know, you can tell type of thing. But covert narcissism is a different game. Okay, it's a completely different game, and it's the hardest to spot. And so that is one of the things I've really had to come to terms with, is learning to forgive myself and let go of the guilt and shame that I managed to get played by one and then get manipulated by one. You know, because it was just so tricky. And so, but now that I'm stepping out of it more, okay, I'm able to see things more clear. So what would I be able to share with people to explain to them like what it was that I had to go through? And I realized, and this really hurt my heart to come to terms with, was that I wasn't allowed to be human. I realized that, like, that's what it comes down to. I wasn't allowed to just be a normal human and make normal mistakes, okay, without being criticized and judged and put down and made to feel like I was a bad person. You know, that's what he made me feel like. He made me feel like I was a bad person for just being a normal human being. Okay, we have the perfect example of it right here, because you see this mic. He bought this mic for me, and I remember that when I got it, the reason I even picked this microphone was because of my friend Alexis. She recommended this mic to me. And so at the time, I was talking to him about it. Again, I didn't have to ask for these things. All I had to do was just talk about them, and he would just be like, let me buy it for you. You know, and at the time, I didn't have the money, even like I do now, which now it's like all accounted for. It's all going to the things I have to buy. But I didn't have money like that. I hadn't had money like that. I'm a woman with 6 kids. Okay. And this mic was a pretty expensive mic. And I remember doing my live stream after I got this mic, and it totally slipped my mind to say, oh yeah, thank you to this person. You know, he would have loved for me to have said his name, okay, in conjunction with him buying me something, which I told him when he bought it, like, thank you. Like, I was always an appreciative and grateful person. Like, I know the value of gratitude and how it can uplift your own soul and help bring in manifest even more things to be grateful for. So, like, I expressed to him, like, thank you so much. Like, I couldn't do this if I couldn't be doing my live streaming even if you hadn't helped me out in getting this and stuff like that. But at the time during the stream, I completely forgot to mention it. I just said thank you to my friend Alexis who recommended the mic to me because she was in the chat, and he wasn't at the time for whatever reason, or he just wasn't participating. I'm not really sure which, but totally slipped my mind. And I paid for that. I paid for that one. Like, he would put me through these hours long inquisitions where he would just ask me all these questions that didn't really have answers. Okay. Like, it was like wanting me to explain myself. It's like he wanted a different answer than what I was giving. It wasn't ever good enough for him. It was never good enough for him. I couldn't just say, I'm sorry, and that in him accept that. Which, even if someone can't accept an apology right away, eventually though, like, if that's what I'm being sincere and I'm being authentic and it truly was just a mind slip, that should be good enough. And I certainly didn't want to thank him for it after he went off on me about it. I certainly did not want to mention his name when he was, I didn't want to. I didn't at that point, because if you're going to make me feel like I was a bad person just for forgetting, not like intentionally doing something, but just being a human being, well, now I definitely don't want to do the thing that you want me to do. Like, mm-mm. But some of what I learned from some of these videos, I learned that when you're in that fight or flight mode, when you're in that survival mode all the time, that it basically, the way this woman described it, she said that the part of your brain that you need to be able to use in order to be in a place of compassion for other people, okay, is the prefrontal cortex, is what she said. And she said when you're in survival mode, it basically throws you back into your middle brain, which is the brain part of your brain that you need to survive. And it kind of takes away your ability to do that. And I had noticed a difference in me. I had noticed a change in me. And I did not know how to get over that. I did not know what was different about me. Like, why can't I just be my normal self? I don't understand it. I can't feel this way. I'm the blue fairy. Okay. What does the blue fairy do? She makes heart wishes. She makes wishes. She grants wishes for people. Okay. By hearing their call, by hearing their prayer of whatever it is that they're asking for. And she feels so deeply for them that her heart is able to put out that request to the universe and leave it into God's hands. But that's what matters. That's what's impactful and important, I think. I think when you have an outside party that sees your story, sees your struggle, and is able to put out a request with the heart in the right intentional space, it can have a big impact. I think that's why we pray for each other, right? And I know personally for me that when I have made really powerful wishes, I've literally felt it come out of my heart like a pulse when I made it. And so now I couldn't make these wishes anymore. I couldn't go to those places. And I didn't understand why. And so after watching this video, it was like, it just put me in the worst mood. It put me in the worst mood ever. And of just, again, being angry, being upset that I got involved with someone who would not just allow me to be human. It's just like, how are we in a world where this is such a large quantity of people are going through stuff like this, right? So yeah, some of the other things that I remember, I wasn't allowed to be human about, like that, the eggshells that I had to walk around. What happened was I had to start shrinking myself down. I had to basically be on guard all the time of trying to do everything perfect. I had to be perfect. If I made any mistake, I was going to hear it for hours. That's when the Inquisition would start. That's exactly what it was. It was an Inquisition every single time. You know, and I've mentioned this one before. I didn't get a plate down one time. And this was after he'd already given me a hard time and told me I was a bad person because I didn't leave the video paused. He was out getting food for people. And I was just watching TV. I was just watching Netflix. We were going to watch a show together that night. And I was just checking out other shows until he got back. And when he got back, I had paused it. And he said, "Oh, wow, you left it paused for us to watch?" And I said, "Oh, it's not. This isn't that show." I said, "This is some other show." And he told me that I was not thoughtful and not considerate. And it shook me up because I'm a very sensitive person. Okay. Like, I already grew up in a house where the male figure in my life was very much similar, which makes sense why I would attract another version of this, because they're like, feel like they're trying to show it to me so that way I could heal it. Okay. Because I wouldn't have put two and two together with that either, unless I had this example. You know what I'm saying? Unless I had this other example, and that's really what the universe does. It just keeps throwing you back in the same thing over and over and over again until you learn the lesson. Okay. So I didn't leave the show pause. This was cause to be told I was a bad person. I didn't leave the show pause. Then we go into the kitchen to get some food, and I'm just like, honestly, like reeling inside my body. Okay, over this, the fact that I just got told that I'm not thoughtful because I didn't leave a show paused for 30 minutes. And I get down a plate for myself, and I go to get the food, and now I'm a bad person because I didn't get a plate down for him. A grown man. I'm like, well, I was unaware that your arms didn't work. I didn't say that at the time, but I'm just kind of like, what are you talking about? But let me tell you, that was such a huge, like he brought that up all the way up until the end. He brought that up to everyone. Okay. But like that I would, you know, I'd try to get my mom to help me or whatever. You know, he went behind my back at one point even and messaged my mom and told my mom, asked my mom not to tell me that he was messaging her in regards to one of my sons who didn't have a job yet at the time, but we were looking. And he basically told my mom that he had a due date for when my son needed to have a job by, otherwise he was going to do something about it. And he told my mom this due date, but he never told me. Never even told me. I'm like, what the hell? Not to mention the boundaries violations. Okay, not to even, I mean, the boundaries violations. I can't even tell you how, like, and that's the thing, is I wasn't even good at boundaries. Okay, I wasn't even good at boundaries. I didn't even know I'm still healing. Okay, I grew up with trauma, like we all do. We all go through traumatic things, and so boundaries was something that I had to learn about at 40 years old here. You know, that boundaries is a thing, and I have to figure out what it is my needs are and how to be able to communicate and express those. And I thought I'd done a pretty good job with the few that I had. Okay, and I'm going to get real specific here today because I'm tired of holding back, so that people can understand more. I don't really mind putting my life out here like this. So I'm just going to tell you guys. Well, the biggest boundary that I had, I'll just be upfront with you guys. Okay, it's no secret, okay, that my favorite group that I hang out with the most is the Blue Flame Collective. Okay, and every month they do a meeting where did I see Karen? Hi there, Karen. Nice to see you here. Every month we do a meeting there, and we get readings. Okay, they do readings for everyone in the group, and it's public. It's a public readings. You know what I'm saying? I usually don't ask anything too specific. I usually just want a general message. It feels more comfortable that way for me. And so there was one thing, since I had brought him into my friends group, there was one boundary that I had for him. And I just said this. I said, please don't ever go into one of those meetings and ask for a reading on our relationship. Please just don't do that. You know, and a part of me was because I was putting myself in my friend's shoes. You know what I'm saying? I thought to myself, like, God, I can't even imagine if one of my friends came on my live stream, like people that are out there that everyone, we all know each other and stuff. I can't even imagine them coming onto one of my gatherings and asking me to do a reading on their relationship. Like that would be a nightmare situation for me, in my opinion. But that's just me. And that's the thing about relationships and being yourself. You're allowed to be unique. You're allowed to have certain things that bother you that wouldn't bother maybe other people. And you should be allowed to ask for those things to be respected. Okay? You should be allowed. Hi there, Stellar. Nice to see you. So you should be allowed to ask for these things to be respected. And so I just flat out told them from the beginning, I just said, please don't ever do that. That would really hurt me. That would really kill our relationship, basically, is what I said. Please don't do that. That would really embarrass me. I said, go ahead and go on there and ask whatever else you want, ask about your own spiritual growth or whatever, because I thought that's really what I think those types of readings and stuff are for me. But again, this is just me. So, I only missed 2 meetings ever in the Blue Flame Collective. I only ever missed 2 meetings. And one of those meetings was during the Galactic and Spirituals Informers conference that I went through last year. And so, wouldn't you know it, the one meeting that I did out of the 2, okay, one at the very beginning and this one, the one meeting that I didn't go to, okay, he went to by himself, which again, that didn't bother me. I couldn't go ahead and have fun. And what do you think he did? What do you think he did? Yeah. Which, I don't even, like, seriously, whatever they had to say, that's fine too. Like, but dude, I'm like, there are so many different psychics in this community. There are so many people you could get readings from that don't know me personally, that I don't hang out with at these things, that I don't hang out with every single month or, during every single live stream. And you can go, I never even said, like, you can't ask about our relationship and get a reading on it from someone. I just said, don't do it in that public setting. Please don't do that. But that didn't get respected. And it did devastate me. I was like, why? Like, and it wasn't so much, even like I said, it wasn't so much what they said or anything like that. That didn't get to me. It was the point. It was the principle. Like, I asked you not to do this. Like, I'm supposed to follow all of your rules, but you don't have to follow any of mine. You don't have to respect any of my feelings. I'm supposed to care about all your feelings and all the little hurts and upsets that happen, like that I can't even predict. Like I mean, I hate to say this. I mean, I kind of am a little bit of a mind reader. I am telepathic for sure. But there are some things that I still doubted myself on. Like I still doubt myself on when I'm around people. Like, oh, are they thinking this or that? Okay, so I'll give you guys another example. Okay, so one of the keys that you can tell that someone, I guess, is a covert narcissist or a narcissist in general is that they take every single holiday or special occasion and they make it about them and they ruin it. Okay. And I started to notice that pattern only after I had done some studying and some research into narcissism, which I wasn't a big I wasn't really informed on narcissism, even though I talk about it about my second ex-husband. He claimed to be a narcissist. I didn't even come to him. Like it wasn't in my being to just go out and be like, oh, you're a narcissist. Oh, you're a narcissist. Oh, that person's a narcissist. It wasn't in me like that. Like I didn't even call my second ex-husband that. He was the one that found that information out and came to me and was like, I think I might be this thing. At the time, I kind of thought, what is that? What is that thing? What do you mean? What is that? And then in hindsight, I truly don't think that he was as much as this guy was. As much as this guy was, for sure. Not anywhere near it. So yeah, so I just got thrown off track just for a second. Yeah, so another one of the things that he got on me about, okay, during the holiday season. Like, tell me how am I supposed to be this perfect person that he expected me to be? Okay, we were all, not just me, we were all supposed to be perfect. All of us, me and my kids, we are all supposed to talk to him the exact way he wanted us to talk to him. We were supposed to, communicate with him in a way that he expect, like the way he did, the way he would interact with people. He expected all of us to just follow these unspoken rules. Okay, and so at Christmas time, okay, when it came time to hand out presents, right, I handed out the presents to the kids. Okay, and at the end of it, he says to me, he got upset. Okay, because I didn't offer to let him hand out any presents. I said, you were sitting right on the couch. Like, you couldn't have just opened your mouth and said, hey, can I help this? Like, do you think I would have stopped you if you would have just come over to the tree and started handing gifts out? Do you think I would have been like, no? Like, I'm not crazy like that. I would have been fine. Like, you want to hand out some presents? Okay. How about open your mouth and be like, I want to hand out some presents, Cassandra. I would have been okay with that. But no, instead, he chose to use that as a way to pick an argument with me on Christmas that I had to pay for hours, because it was never a short thing. Okay. It was never a small conflict. It was never a short conflict. I would hear about it forever. He was a scorekeeper. And that's the other thing about narcissists. It makes sense now, all this stuff. He was a scorekeeper. Okay. And that's why all of these nice, good things that he did for me they were always tainted. Okay. Energetically, I could feel it. It was always tainted. It was tainted with these intentions of, I'm doing this so that way when you misbehave, I can be like, look at all these good things I did. But it was always to get that pat on the back, that recognition that was just like, oh, you're such a great guy. Look what you did for me. You bought me that mic. Thank you so much. Like, I did that in private. Okay, I did. Why wasn't it enough to just say it and express it to you in a way that I could? Because I did. I was very appreciative. I remember getting into a conflict over just the fact that I'm like, we are appreciative. What more do you want us to do? What more do you want us to do? There's nothing more I can do other than just say it and mean it. Okay, but I was never hearing the end of it. It was nonstop. Okay, there was not a single week that went by that we didn't argue, that he didn't pick some kind of arguments. And the arguments were always the same. It was always about how I did something wrong, and now I have to pay for it. Now I have to be put through the ringer of, why am I like this? Why am I not behaving the way he wants me to behave? Okay. And it's very upsetting now. It's upsetting to know that I put myself through that I put my children through that. I'm noticing I'm not swearing as much as I was last week. I'm kind of happy about that. That kind of shows me I got some of the anger out, right? Oh, let me see. Someone said, well said, Jeremy. I want to see what Jeremy said. Thank you, Jeremy. He says sending love. Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying. I'm definitely trying. That's what I want to grow. I want to be able to forgive and let go, because here's the other thing. And that's why I want to get into this Doom Patrol subject. Okay. Because this character that I found in Doom Patrol, I think, was absolutely fascinating. And the character's name was, now, if you don't know about Doom Patrol, it is a group of superheroes that are not really that great. They're like, I would say like the D list or whatever, or B list, whatever it is you want to call it. So they were created by this guy named Niles Calder, who was trying to find a way to extend his life. Okay. And he did these experiments on people. All right. And he ended up like, basically destroying their lives in order to do these experiments and give them superpowers. And they actually didn't even know it, that he was the one that was behind it. For quite some time, they did not know. And he kind of pulled them together as like a family type thing. And so they would do these missions together, okay? And trying to learn how to use their superpower abilities, even though they didn't really feel much like superpowers, okay? They definitely weren't like a Superman, Batman type of characters, okay? Like we have one guy who was named Cliff, okay? And he was a race car driver, and he ended up getting in a really bad car accident and killed his wife. He thought his daughter was dead, but she turned out not to be dead in the long run. But Niles took him and took his brain and put it into a metal robot body. Okay, and the robot couldn't feel anything anymore. Like, can you imagine like not being able to eat anymore, not being able to have sex anymore? That was his biggest complaint in the show. You know, like I don't even have like a normal life now. And yeah, and then there was another character like that I really thought was amazing and I could relate to in a way that a lot of people out there in society have been messed with in this way. And her name was Jane. Okay, and Jane was traumatized and ended up having split personalities, 64 split personalities, and each one had their own superpower. Okay, and I really do like her character because she's like human. She's like a real person, even fighting with addictions. Okay, she's even fighting with drugs because she's using drugs in order to survive. In order to survive, and she swears up a storm. Like that's part of another reason why I kind of like the show, because they swear just like in really funny ways. And so I really like Jane's character. I could really relate to that because and you know, and the way that they showed it, the way that they what's the word? The way they put individuals what it might be like for someone who struggles with this split personality by dissociative identity disorder, I think is what they used to call it. Okay, is they called it the underground. Okay, and they show her relating to her other selves in this underground. Okay, and the main objective of every single personality in Jane is to protect the child version of her, which is named Kay. Okay, and it's just fascinating, all these different characters, all these different parts of a person's personality that can get shifted into little compartments, okay, and be allowed to come out. Because you know, and the thing is, the reason I feel like that even maybe people in the spiritual community could relate to this is because, you know, versions of ourselves, you know, there are versions of me that I know I interact with. I think that might even be our spirit guides, really, a lot of times, is that they're actually other versions of us that have come to help guide us through this human life. You know, so I really enjoy this show, Doom Patrol. But the main character that really got me thinking, you know, and I think that the reason that all of this even started for me, of why I wanted to bring this up, is because, you know, I manifested this situation into my life. I did. That was part of what was so mind-blowing to me at first, was that I had made a list of what I wanted. I need help. I need help, God. You know, I need help getting out of the home that I was living in before. And I just put like, I need a man who will help me, because I was hoping for a relationship too, but you know, I just need a person that will help me. I made out this list of characteristics, you know, and he fulfilled all of them. He fulfilled all of them. He showed up within a week of me doing this request. This man, and the reason I felt confident in even putting it forward was because of how many other wishes I had made that had come true. Okay, like I mentioned last week, it's not that every single thing that I say comes true. Okay, but I have to be in a certain heart space, my intentions, my heart, and my voice. You know, the authority that you use, that you're able to channel the energy of authority. Okay, I was able to do that in a way many times where I was able to get very specific about things that I wanted that would happen. Okay, and I know I got this. I know that this wish came true partly because I had wished for it to happen. And I had asked for a man to be, one of the things was a little bit like my second ex-husband. Okay, and that me and him could talk a lot and have these debates. And it was like the problems from my second marriage came flying in with like 100 times fold though. Fucked up. So fucked up. And so so back to Doom Patrol. So one of the other characters' names, okay, is this little girl. She gets brought in. She's a 12-year-old, and she's like human, but she has like an ape-like face. Okay, and she's the daughter of Niles, the guy who basically all of the Doom Patrol people ended up hating him. He was the creator of them though. Okay, and he at one point when he was younger, he had been stranded out in the wilderness and taken in by a tribe of natives. And one of the women there, she looked like a human, like a Planet of the Apes type of thing, but a little bit more human. But she had like a beard and everything like that. And so he ended up falling in love with this woman, and she had special powers in herself from the tribe. Okay, and this is where it's kind of cool. Okay, so the tribe could hand down these special abilities. Okay, so what their special ability was, the daughter that they had, her name was Dorothy. Okay, and that's where the Candlemaker comes from. It came from Dorothy. Dorothy, her special power was that her imaginary friends that she could see, okay, no one else could see them unless unless she wanted them to, unless she was really scared or upset or in danger, then you would be able to see her imaginary friends were actually not imaginary at all. They were real. They were creations. When she imagined these things from the trauma in her life, she actually was it brought them to life. So she had all these different people that imaginary friends that she would have around her at all times that she could talk to, because of the fact that she at one point was like locked in a cage and put through a circus show and stuff, which I think the parallels of some things that we know about the sad, awful stuff that happens in the world about, kids and cages and stuff like that. Like, I thought this was a really good symbolic metaphor, whatever word it is that you want to use. I forget what exactly it is, but I thought it was a good metaphor in showing what's going on in this world through this little girl. And her name was Dorothy, and she kind of dressed up like Dorothy. We know what they do out there. If you're in this spiritual community, you know the things that they do to the kids. Okay. And so when her father Niles finally rescued her, she had these imaginary friends, and one was called the Candlemaker. Now, the Candlemaker actually came from her tribe. Okay, it was actually two of them that were passed down. They were ancient beings. Okay, they were ancient spirits that were there to protect her. But the Candlemaker particularly, whenever she was scared or in danger, he would start to speak to her and he would say, "Make a wish. Make a wish, Dorothy." And she would be like, "No, I don't want to," because she knew that the wishes that she would make in order to protect herself would usually ultimately end in the death of humans. Okay. And so it got me thinking about the power of wishes, the power of when you ask for something, like, and you don't have real control over it, you have to let the universe handle it. Okay. And that, I felt like I kind of ended up in this same type of situation where I had made this powerful wish for help from a person that fit these certain characteristics, not thinking about the shadow aspects of it. And I got it. You have to be careful with what you wish for. You have to be careful with what you say. There's been things. Okay, let me think of some of the happier ones, so that way you can understand. Like, the fact of me going to these conferences, even, especially the first Starseed Adventure conference that I always talk about, where my heart was activated. Okay, where I you guys know that, like, if you've been following my channel for a while, okay, my heart had died. I had been through so much trauma that I didn't even have the feelings of love inside me anymore. I didn't even remember what that felt like anymore. I was basically just living and going through the motions, but did not feel like my life did not have the meaning that it used to. I couldn't feel the love from other people either. It was like it was encased in this black goo that turned to like obsidian. Okay. And I had to go through the process of breaking that open and clearing that space out, and then having them give me a new heart, a new energetic heart that got lit back up at the Starseed Adventure Conference. But that was one of the first things, that was the biggest wish that I had asked for, and that I'd seen results from immediately. Okay. And I just said to the universe, I said, I really want to go to this conference. And it'd be really nice, actually. I can't really afford it. So it'd be really nice if I could work for it. I would like to be like a volunteer or something. I would gladly work at this event if you would just make the way clear, make the path clear for me to go to this event. I said it'd be nice maybe even if I get paid too. That would be cool if I was actually working at a place and got paid. Please let me go to this thing. I want to be activated. I want to be involved in the community. I want to meet the people that I've been hanging out with in these online for so long now. And within 24 hours, I was called by the woman who was throwing the event. And she said, do you want to volunteer and come work at this event with me? And I might even be able to pay you. And I'm like, holy smokes. But the earliest one that I did that showed me that there was something special here, and there was something that I could just say things and they will happen, was the first boyfriend that I had that I fell in love with, if you want to say. Although I don't know, I wouldn't even say that it was it takes a while to fall in love with someone. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in love at first sight. I think that there's such thing as lust at first sight, that's for sure. But I think falling in love with someone is something that you build up over time. And so at the time, this was my first boyfriend. I wanted him to love me more than anything. I wanted to, I craved that male validation, right? Because I did not have that. I had someone who expected me to be perfect. And when I was a child, okay, and did and behaved and acted and had normal things that children go through happen to them, I was shamed and I was criticized and put down. Okay, so when I had this first boyfriend, even though he didn't treat me great at the beginning, okay, I wanted that. I didn't want him to break up with me, and at one point he did. At one point he tried to anyway, and I begged him not to, and he didn't. But we barely saw each other. Okay, so finally one day he told me, it was like 3 months into the relationship. And he told me, my parents want me to move to Cleveland. I'm thinking about moving to Cleveland for the summer, okay, because he had family that lived there. And I was devastated at the time, okay? Like, I think I was, 15 at the time. I was devastated, 16 maybe. I just turned 16. And so I still remember, I can picture it in my head, the exact night that he told that to me. I went outside on my porch, and it was very windy and overcast, and I just shouted to the universe. I said, I don't want this to happen. I don't want him to leave. I'm begging you guys, basically, I deserve this at this point, I said. And what I deserve is, if he loves me at all, I want him to come to me, and I want that love to be increased tenfold. I want him to come to me and tell me that he loves me, that he's in love with me. I said, I want him to see me every single day, because like I said, we'd barely seen each other in 3 months. I'd maybe seen him 3 times in person. We talked on the phone all the time, but in person, I didn't have a car at that point yet and everything. I did get one shortly after that, so I was able to see him more, and I asked for that. I said, and if he ever lies to me, I want to find out. Okay, if he ever lies to me, all these things. I had these 3 different requests, right? So I put that out there. And the next day, this was very unusual. Okay, this is how I know how powerful a heart's intentions and wish can be. All right, especially if you feel like you deserve it in a true, authentic way, you feel like you deserve, I deserve this thing. Please, if the universe agrees, it'll happen, right? Well, the very next day, he calls me up at 9 a.m. and he says to me, I want to come over there and see you right now, which we never saw each other in any time other than the evening. That was when we go out on dates, is in the evening. And he comes to me at 9:10 in the morning and he says to me, I'm sorry. I don't know what I was thinking saying that I wanted to move to Cleveland for the summer. I love you. I'm in love with you. And I want to spend every day that I can with you. And we did after that, every single day up until the day, gosh, it was my 9th month of pregnancy. I ended up he was the father of my first child. And once his parents found out about me being pregnant, they did send him off. But we saw each other every single day until that day. Okay. And it was a lovely experience. I'm very happy to have it. It was very hard to get over it, but I don't regret it. And I'm so glad that the universe gave me that, I guess you could say. Okay. So, before I get into the tarot cards here, I guess there's just a few more things. Like, okay, because I'm like I'm like going over these things. This is the type of the things that I go through when I'm driving. So I'm thinking about these things. One of the biggest things that you guys know about me at this point is that I'm having these hot flashes, right? Oh, hi, Alexis. Nice to see you. Oh, and Deborah, nice to see you. Thanks. Thanks for coming, guys. Thank you guys for hanging out. Oh, there's some. Oh, okay. Zaya Ways, nice to see ya. Thanks for coming, guys. Thanks for hanging out. And so, here's a weird one. Okay, here's a really weird one. I'm just gonna tell you guys. Okay, this is why I'm like, I know that I have to be careful with what I ask for. I have to be careful for the things that I wish for. Okay. Now this is about women's stuff, so I'm just gonna give you the heads up on this one. This is about women's bodies and everything like that and how they work. So, I'd say about 2 years ago now at this point, 3 years ago almost maybe, I was going to a conference. Okay. And it was about to be that time of the month for me. So Aunt Flo was about to come. I was about to go to this conference. And I was like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. We are not having a period when I'm on vacation. Because isn't that always how it happens, ladies? It's like the stress of planning for the trip and getting ready for the trip. And next thing you know, even if you weren't supposed to start your period, like now it's fucking starts. And you're like, oh my God, like no. So I told my body, I said, I told my guides even. I said, no. I said, we are not having this period. I said, you need to postpone it. You need to stop it. And it did. They said, okay, they actually told me this. They said, the only way we can stop it now is if we make you ovulate again. And as a midwife, I'm very well able to read the signs of my body to know when that stuff was happening, when that stuff was coming up. In fact, that was part of my job, was to teach women how to track their fertility so that way they could know when their fertile days were, right? So they could make babies, so we could help deliver those babies, right? And then afterward too, in order to maybe not have a baby. So I told my body, no, we're not doing that. And they said, okay, the only way we could stop that is if we ovulate again. I said, okay. And I didn't, and I did ovulate again, and I didn't have my period. And so I thought, that's very interesting, but can I repeat the experiment? It's important to me. If I'm really truly doing something here, then it should be replicable, right? So the next time, it was, I don't know, maybe a year and a half later at this point. And at this point, I was with the narcissist that I was going to move in with. And this person wanted a baby really bad. And I was like, absolutely not. I told him no, but I could just, I was like, it worried me even being physically intimate with him at all, which got less and less over time, but at the beginning, it was like a normal kind of a normal relationship. And I was like, absolutely, I'm not having to worry about this every single month, body. So I told my body, I said, let's see if we can do something again. Let's see if we can not only postpone my period, but let's see if we can push it out for like 3 months. Okay. So this was the year the first Journey to Truth conference was happening. And so I told my body specifically, it was February. And I said to the universe, I said to my body, okay, we are not going to have any more periods until after the Journey to Truth conference. Oh, I didn't say after. I said, don't want any periods until the Journey to Truth conference. Don't, like, I thought that would be, but you have to be specific, because I wasn't specific enough, because guess what happened when the conference came? Yeah, and Flo showed up. But February to May, no periods. None. And it kind of blew my mind. Like, wow. So I can say these things and my body will listen. This is a really weird superpower, cool superpower though, right? So it did. It happened. Okay. I said no more periods until the Journey to Truth conference. And then it happens. But then they didn't come back. They didn't come back. For a year, I went with no periods, and I thought, wow, am I like in menopause? I was having hot flashes some, but not all the time. It was like, a couple weeks here, a couple weeks there. And I thought, wow, I guess I'm just in premenopause. Just went into menopause. Well, guess what happened this past year at the Journey to Truth conference? Another period. One. So I'm like, so wait. So I told my body no more periods until the Journey to Truth conference. And it's like my body listened so well that it did it that May, but then it didn't do it again until the next Journey to Truth conference. I'm like, if I have another one this year at the Journey to Truth conference, then I'm going to have to find a way to put it out there and fix this somehow. Because again, like I said, I can't just do it all the time. I have to be in a certain place, intentionally wise. I have to be speak with a certain authority. Okay. It's like this frequency of authority that I was able to cultivate, but it's not all the time. It's like almost like the Doom Patrol people getting to learn how to use their superpowers. Okay. Because this is like a superpower I have that I am still learning. I'm still learning it. So, yeah, I don't know if anyone else is out there like this, who is able to say these things and then these things start happening, but there's many of them. There's many of them for me at this point. Ones that are just too like bright. I don't know what the word I'm looking for here. It's too I don't believe in coincidences. I don't believe that it's a coincidence that I tell my body not to do this certain thing and it doesn't do it until the time that I tell it to. Okay, more than once. So yeah, I guess basically the thing that I took away from Dorothy and the Candlemaker, because that's the thing that made her so dangerous. This is why her father in the show is super overprotective of Dorothy and doesn't want to let her grow up and have a normal life, because he wants to keep everything perfect, everything even keeled and nice and comfy, and doesn't want her to ever be upset or scared, because he knows that if she gets upset and scared, that she could say things in a certain way to where these imaginary friends, okay, / ancient spirits that are there to help her, that have been with her tribe since they began, okay, since they were created even maybe by this tribe. He knows that if her young mind says things in a certain way and makes a wish, okay, that something bad could happen, because it has happened many times in the show. Basically, like that is how he ended up finding her, was that she killed, like her Candlemaker guy killed everyone at the circus that she was being held captive in. Okay, so basically the point I'm coming back around to here is that I really need to get to a place, or I've been able to hold back in a way where, because I don't, even as much as I hate that motherfucking dude, as much as I fucking hate him, I want to be able to let go. I don't want to be, I know that shit comes right back. I know things that you put out, good things and bad things, karmically come back. Okay, so I want to get to a place, and I think I am slowly getting there, to where I'm not wishing these bad things for him. Like I've really had to bite my tongue a lot because I was like, I do not want anything bad to come to this person. I think God can handle that. I think the universe will take care of him in the way that he deserves. Okay? I truly do. And I don't think that I need to do it. I think that he has probably suffered. Obviously, he has to have suffered in order to even be the type of person that he is now. Because what is that? And that's the place. That's why I could not have compassion before in the ways that I used to have compassion, is because I was living in survival mode, and it was taking me out of the place in my brain where I could actually even do that. I couldn't even feel my energy anymore. Like I remember doing this experiment at one of these conferences where we had to push our energy out for other people to feel, and I couldn't feel my own energy anymore. I couldn't push it out. Okay, it literally felt like it was like shrink wrap around me. Like I just was just so small and so little, and just and it hurt. It bothered me so bad that that was the place that I had gotten to. You know, so anyway, so now that I'm getting out of that, and now that I'm able to try and have compassion, it's like, well, what happens if I look back on his life and the information that he shared with me about his childhood? What does it tell me the way he treated me? What does that tell me about how he was treated, what he was taught, what love looked like, which clearly is not the same thing as what I think love is, what love looks like for me. Okay, well, apparently he wasn't allowed to make any mistakes. Apparently he was expected to be perfect. I mean, I'm going to guess that those are two big things that you could take away from it, right? Am I going to go into that one? They're reminding me one more thing about one of the things that these things just float around in my mind. It makes me so mad that I don't know how to get them out. So that's why I feel like what I've noticed is a lot of times the things that I'm share here, it does kind of, it's like it's pouring it out. You know what I'm saying? It's pouring it out so that way it doesn't just sit there and keep floating around in my head over and over and over again. And one of the things that that upset me the most. Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys another thing of things that I say that just things happen because of it. And this is much more. This is going to a pretty intimate place. Okay, so I'm just going to give you guys a heads up on that one. This is not that my streams are ever kid friendly, so to speak, but this one's going to be talking about some adult sexual issues. So I'm just giving you a heads up on that one now, guys. So one of the things that I do when it comes to physical intimacy, okay, is I look at it as a very sacred and a special thing. And so I will usually pray ahead of time, like if this is going to be in alignment with everyone's highest love and joy, then please let, give us your blessing and let it be a beautiful experience. But if it's not, don't even allow it to happen. Don't allow there any opportunity for it, or lastly, okay, like don't even allow the man to be able to physically perform if it's not for the highest love and joy of everyone. Just don't even let that happen. So shortly before I was moving into my house, the last house that I was living in, okay, me and the person that I lived with, we were basically having to hang out at hotels, okay, because he couldn't come to my old house. Okay, he couldn't come to the house that I was living in. I was living with my ex in that house. Okay, and so we would go and we would hang out. We would do things at these hotels. And so this was about, I don't know, 6 months into our relationship. It was like 2 weeks before we were getting ready to move into this house together. And we're in this hotel room, and I had given him, was giving him a tarot reading. Okay, and part of the thing, like I said, he liked to buy me a lot of things. Okay, well, one of the things that he bought me was lingerie and stuff, like pretty. I love lingerie. I love beautiful women. Like if you guys see any of my posts, I love sexy, beautiful pictures of like just visually, like what it looks like for a woman's body to be in really just beautiful lingerie and stuff. And so he bought me this lingerie, and I, like he said, basically, I'll buy this for you if you do the tarot reading in this lingerie. Can't believe I'm telling you guys this. And so I did. Okay, I was like, sure, like, because I'm thinking at the time too, I'm thinking, oh, it won't, it won't be a problem. Like this is a relationship, like not a big deal for me to do that for him specifically. But then it came down to the tarot reading's over and I'm in this lingerie and he's expecting me to perform, obviously, and or to give him the opportunity for us to connect sexually. And I just wasn't feeling it. I just wasn't feeling it. My body at that point already was having a really hard time connecting to him in that way because of all the criticisms and the judgments and like never being good enough, always just getting in these arguments. And so that makes it really hard for a woman, like to feel not loved, not a real connection. It's hard to be sexually intimate with a man if you don't really feel the connection. Not that it's impossible, but it's hard to do. Okay. And so we're at that point where things are about to happen. And I said, I don't want to do this. And no response. I said again, like, I really don't think I want to do this. Like, I'm sorry you bought this lingerie from me. I don't really think I want to do this. No response. Now at this point, I was like, oh my God, I really have to say this again 3 times. 3 times I said, I don't want to do this. Please stop. Please stop. I don't want to do this. And it fell on deaf ears. And so I very quickly went into my heart and I said, God, please help me. Please. And this is graphic, like, please take away his erection right now is what I said. Please take it away right now so that he can't do anything to me. And it worked. Now, I've known this person for a while now, so I knew this wasn't a normal issue for him or anything. But it worked. And I was so grateful for it. And I can see that he was confused. And he was like, well, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on. Let me fucking tell you, buddy. Let me fucking tell you what's going on. I fucking told you no. I told you no 3 times. What the fuck? Like, why? And so I just flat out told him, I said, I asked for God to make that happen because I'd asked you not to do that 3 times and you did not listen to me. And I was hoping to get some kind of, I would think, I don't even know what I would think he would respond with at that point. But I definitely didn't think that he would respond the way he did. And this is what he said to me. He said he felt like I violated him. That's what he told me afterward. He told me, I feel violated by you. What? Like you were about to go through with something that would have been really, really bad in the long run if you had. And I was feeling very scared and almost violated. And now you're telling me that I violated you. Well, yeah, you asked God to do something to my body, and I feel like that violated me. Okay, buddy. It's these things that stick with you. And at that point, and this was 2 weeks before we had to move in together, at that point, I'm like, fuck. I'm in a bad situation. Guys. And what else was I supposed to do? Like, everything was already a go. But it never left my mind. Like, that moment, that face, like, there was, for me, between that and then the repeated boundaries, the few boundaries I had, those violations, you're gonna, like, but yeah, I was supposed to be perfect. I was supposed to be a mind reader and do everything the way he wanted me to do it. And if I didn't, I was a bad person. This is the type of behaviors that I'm dealing with. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know. It was definitely something that I hope no one else has to go through stuff like that. I know people do. I know that this is the world we live in and that things happen like that out there in the world to women all the time. And, I beat myself up for it. I thought, and I did, and I even had, I had friends. I even had this one girlfriend that lives close by me, and she'd be like, well, he does buy you all this stuff. He does pay for that house. So you pretty much do have to just give it up to him. That's what you have to do. Like, I expect to hear that from a man. I'm sorry. And I did have another male friend that was basically like, well, you got to think about it from his point of view. He's paying for all this stuff. And now you're not even putting out. And I'm like, did you hear what happened to me though? I'm like, it's hard for me when he literally said I violated him after something like this happened. How do you come back from that if you can't even find a way? Like, I'm not against forgiving and moving past and letting go, but it's really hard to do that when someone can't even see what it was that hurt you so bad. But I was expected to see exactly what did that for him. I was expected to always know and always have the right thing to say to come back with. And I wasn't. I'm not a perfect human being. I'm not perfect by any means. I make mistakes on the regular. I get things wrong sometimes. But there's one thing that I know I didn't get wrong here. And it's that this was a highly abusive, narcissistic, abusive relationship. It truly was. And so I just want to extend my hand out there to any other people that may be going through something like this. Okay? And that need someone to talk to or to open up to or to share with. Like, I'm trying to think of where's the space that we can go, because I had a good friend of mine. Y'all know who she is, Nora. I had my friend Nora basically say, like, she suggested that I start some kind of group to help support other people who have gone through these types of experiences so that we could grow together and heal from it and learn from each other. Like, I want to learn how to let go of this. I want to help other people be able to let go and forgive and make these people humans again. Know that, but here's the thing, even with knowing that these people are human, like, I don't want to demonize this man. I want to be able to make him human again. There's something that I was about to say and it just like slipped out, but I'm going to bring it right back. Because that's the thing, okay, is that I'm sure that this is a result of his own trauma and his own upbringing. Not that here it came back, okay? But that's the thing about traumas, and when you don't heal them, is that it's like a virus or contagious. Okay, traumas are contagious. The whole thing that hurt people, right? There's no way he could have hurt me in the ways that he hurt me if he hadn't already been hurt in those ways himself. And that's what I really truly thought in the long run, from all the healing that I'd already done. I really thought I was going to be able to help him heal from the things that kept him behaving in these ways. I thought that was going to be a possibility for me to be able to guide him through some of the traumas of recovering from some of the traumas that he went. But how can you recover from traumas and stop those behaviors if you don't, if you aren't able to see them? If your response to making a mistake is to say, I feel violated now, when you're about to violate someone else. That don't make sense. But I feel better. I don't know. I feel in a different place with all of that stuff now. I'm getting there. Like, I'm definitely not as angry as I was 2 weeks ago. I don't even feel as angry as I was a couple days ago, which is kind of crazy for me to have moved past it so far so fast. Because I thought it was going to take me a lot more time to let go of this. Now I'm in the part where I'm not angry anymore, where I'm just like hurt. I'm just like really hurt on the inside about the fact that I was put through that for so long and there was no other way out, and that I just had to sit there and endure it. And it made me feel like I lost so many pieces of myself. In the meantime, I lost so many things that I loved about myself, all the hard work, all this hard work that I had put into a spiritual discipline. It just kind of floated up, just floated away, and now I'm having to like almost start from scratch, almost start from ground zero, you know. But I will. And so I do want to try to find a way to help other people and be able to overcome these things too, be able to share their traumas in a way where we can feel for each other, we can be there for each other, we can put it in a different perspective for each other, right? Because that's really what my friends do for me. My best friends, they help me out in this way. And I think that's part of why I've been able to let go of some of this anger already, is because I've been able to talk to some of them about it and vent about it, and it helped a lot. So unfortunately, I do have some other sad news that if you're someone who comes to my channel a lot, this is terrible. I don't have any fortune cookies. I wasn't able to re-up on my fortune cookies. Sorry, guys. So no fortune cookie for today. I do plan on getting some more this next week, so that way we can have my fortune cookies, because that's one of my magics, is my fortune cookie magic. So now that I've gotten a lot of that out, which thank you all for listening. Thank you all for hearing me out on these hard subjects to talk about. I really appreciate you being here. And I know, right? I know. I'm sorry, Victor. I'm sorry. I'm not perfect. Okay. All right. I'm just going to read some of these real quick. Oh, Geraldine, thank you. Geraldine, you've been so very helpful in the things that you say. Yeah, I'm going to be able to, I can tell, I'm going to be able to let this go. I'm going to be able to move forward. You have a fortune cookie deck? Wow. Yes, Geraldine, go pull the fortune cookie, the card from the fortune cookie deck. Yes, absolutely. Oh, yes, Mrs. White Swan. I know. Thank you for saying that. It feels better even reading that now. Like when I was in that place where I was still so very angry, it's like I read that and it was like, how? Like, 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 what do you, yeah, I know that tool, but I don't even know how to use it right now. Not even the place to use that shit right now. But now it's like, I love the way I'm able to feel again. I'm not just living in survival mode anymore. And I'm able to feel that I'll be able to use that tool again. Like, it's getting there. I can feel it even like, okay. I can feel it moving up right here. I can feel this a lot more open now. Okay. And that's one of the other things I noticed after being out of that relationship, was that it had shut down my sacral chakra so very much, that now it's starting to open up again. It's like I feel almost like a flower, kind of, so to speak. And I feel it kind of open. Oh, just feeling all of this right here. So it started to like, it was almost like it was just like clenched down, and now it's starting to like reopen again. Okay. And this has been really active. This, the solar plexus chakra has been very, very active for me. And the heart one, there still is some heaviness right here. I can feel, ooh, whew, just going near it, to talking to you guys. I say that, it like starts to move a little bit. Okay. So that, and it's like, yeah. And not, I think it was the week beforehand. No, well, I guess it was the last live stream. There was a lot of energy right here that felt like there was something stuck right here. that feels like there's more of a space opening now, which is really good. Okay, because that's really the point, is to be able to bring that energy up, move it up. See, once I'm actually on again now, like I'm energetically on again right now. I can feel it in my hands. That's how I'm able to do my light weaving, right? Okay, I can feel when it just do stuff like this, it moves the energy. I can feel it. Okay. So this is a really good thing. I'm really glad to be here sharing this with you guys. Oh shit. Oh my God. We got the Tarot Destroyer. I don't know why. Whenever I see that name, that's how I hear it. I hear it with this stupid fucking accent. The Tarot Destroyer. Oh, poor baby. I'll put in timeout. That's right. Get out of here, Tarot Destroyer. I haven't even taken my tarot cards out yet. Oh, let's see what Geraldine said though. Oh, thank you, Fifi Jules. Oh, see, I knew. Hugs for you, Fifi. So sad that we all had to go through stuff like this. You know, I just don't think that there's probably not one person in this world that hasn't been touched by abuse in some way. You know? Let's see what Geraldine said. Okay. All right, this one fell out. Wait. This one that fell out is travel, it says. Okay, so Geraldine says, which Geraldine was going to pull one for out of the fortune cookie deck that she has, because I don't have a fortune cookie this week, guys. I'm so sorry. Okay, she said, oh my God. Well, we got two because one fell out of the deck and as she opened it. Okay, so she's going to read two of them. One was travel. Long distance communications will open up your life. Exciting experiences or singles and career advancement for others. I hope I'm reading that. I'm like terrible sometimes at reading at the same time if I don't already know what it's saying. Okay, so that was the first one. Long distance communications will open up your life. Exciting experiences or singles and career advancement for others. Very nice. Like that one. And this is the other one that showed up for us. It's opportunities. Okay. Well, hopefully, is there more of a message? It says, an important offer will be made. Be prepared and dress to impress. Oh, hi, Hope. Oh. And Selena, nice to see you. Okay, I'm reading someone else's comment here right now. It says, we suffer when we stay with someone who crosses boundaries and consistently hurts you, but then expects you to always be down and run over for them. Exactly. Love yourself, forgive yourself for being with someone deceitful. Yeah, someone deceitful. That is for sure. And that I feel like has been the biggest lesson that I've been trying to take away. It's just that the level of manipulation that this person was able to manipulate my life. I'm trying to think of, like, I get it now. I get it that I need to stop beating myself up for not seeing it sooner. I need to stop beating myself up for that, because they're really good at hiding it. If it was just like stamped on them, we wouldn't even bother interacting with them, right? It's their ability to really keep that veil up, keep that mask on. Oh, going through a very similar situation, Selena says. Hugs for Selena, prayers for Selena. Yeah, that's really what it comes down to, Geraldine. He just was not able to be honest with himself. And that's the thing that frustrated me the most. It's just because this is like naive to a certain degree. This is naive. Oh, I remember some of the other little tidbits I wanted to add. Okay, is that I truly thought me being open and honest with him to the degree that I was going to be reflected back to me. Like, I was super open and honest, but now I realize that is part of the beginning parts of what narcissists do, is that they get to know you, they interview you in a way, to get to know all of those things that they can later on manipulate. Okay. And he did. He did. He there wasn't anything that I shared with him that he didn't eventually use against me during some conflict that we were having. It was really, really shitty. Like, and he even got on my daughter about it. My daughter, okay, when we first moved in, okay, I did not have an easy time potty training my daughter. I'm just going to tell you guys that right now, right out in the open. My daughter was very, very difficult to potty train. I felt like I was losing my mind over it. I didn't know what else to do. She started getting better, okay, right before we moved out and moved into the new house. And then when we moved into the new house, she totally regressed in every way. Like you could, at first I thought it was just about the fact that she was now not living with her dad for the first time, which broke my heart. Okay. Because that was part of the reason that I stayed in that other house so long, was because I just wanted my daughter to have her dad and her life in the home for as long as I possibly could. Okay. And now it ended up being 4 years. So 4 years. So I felt really good about that. But, it did affect her greatly when we moved out, because she really loves her dad. Dad really is good to her. Okay. And so when we first moved out, everything changed. I went from having my own room where my children slept in bed with me. Okay. Every day she's ever been alive, she'd slept in bed with me. And now she wasn't able to sleep in bed with me anymore. She ended up sleeping on the chair in my room, which, wasn't exactly convenient or whatever. But at the same time, like, I couldn't bear to have her not be close to me, and she couldn't sleep away from me. And so, she had a really hard time. She regressed and started pooping in her pants. Okay. I'll just tell you that much. Okay. Well, then, like, when I say, like, we were all expected to be perfect, So my daughter, she needed to go to the bathroom one day. We had 2 bathrooms. Okay. The downstairs bathroom that was on the same floor as us. Okay. It stuck a little bit. When you would close it, it would stick a little bit. So sometimes you would really have to push it to get in. Okay. And so she had to use the bathroom, and I guess she tried to get into the door and she couldn't get in, and she came back like someone was in there. And I'm just like, oh, then you have to use the upstairs one. If someone was in the downstairs basement, you need to go to the upstairs one. And so she did. Well, of course I had to hear it from fuckface. Okay. I'm sorry. That's really fucking mean, but fuck him. And, fuck him. I'll love you, forgive you, thank you. I forget how it even goes right now at this point. Anyway, so he comes to me afterward, and he says to me, Sarah tried to push the door in when I was in the bathroom, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm really sorry about that. Like, I can tell you that she didn't know you were in there. He was like, I said that someone was in here. I had to hold the door shut. I said something, and I was like, well, I'm sure. He said, first I just held the door shut. He didn't say anything at first. He just held the door shut. And he said, and she tried to push it 3 times until finally I spoke up and said, someone's in here. I said, well, that makes a lot of sense to me, because the door sticks. And so I've told her before that you have to really push it. So it does not surprise me that she really tried to force herself into that bathroom. And I, again, what else was I supposed to say? I said, I'm sorry that she did that. Like, I'm sorry she tried to get into the bathroom while you were in the bathroom. Like, she's freaking a child. She's a child. Okay. But I didn't go into it anymore. That was pretty much the basis of how I said it. I'm really sorry that she did that. I'm sure it has something to do with the fact that she's a kid. I'm sure it has something to do with the fact that the door sticks. And you could tell he was not happy. He's not satisfied with this response of mine. And so he stopped and he thought about it. I could just see those wheels turning, and I was like, I said, you just have to consider the fact that she's only 6. She's only 6 years old. And he stopped and thought about it. He said, well, how much consideration do I need to give to a 6-year-old that still poops their pants? Well, I would think as much consideration as they need, considering that I'm struggling with it. Considering She's a child and she just made a mistake. She just tried to open the door. And now you're going to sit there and shame me about the fact that you know that she's having issues with holding in her bowel movements. You're going to shame me and her about that. You know, and I really wish at the time I thought about this, because I didn't think about it then. But, you know, I just want to be like, well, how much consideration do I need to give to a 39-year-old man who still shits his pants occasionally? Because you shit your pants on our second date, one of them, huh? How about that one? You know? Like, oh, how much consideration? I don't know. How much consideration does a 6-year-old need who's watching her mother be abused in a house with you? I don't know. Yeah. Fucking shit his pants on one of our dates and then wants to tell me that. Jerk. Gross. Anyway, enough about that. Enough shit talk, right? Wait, but a ding, right? Okay. I'll stop that now. So yeah, it was really difficult. It was really, really difficult. Oh, is there anything else? Hold on. Wait, I see someone saying something about what Geraldine said. I'm just going to read this real quick. Yeah, exactly. The traumas do override our red flags. Or like, yeah, we don't see it. Thank you, Geraldine. Thank you. Yeah. Hi, Dennis. Nice to see you here. Don't worry, I'm not going on my swear rant like I did 2 weeks ago. Thank you, Jeremy. I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you guys being here. Seriously, it means so much to me. Like, it really does. It means so much to me. I love you guys. So let's clear all that space. I feel a lot better. I feel glad that I was able to share this stuff with you guys. You know, even in the graphic details that I did. You know, it wouldn't be my channel if I didn't go into some too many details. I'm a Gemini. What do you fucking expect? What do you expect? Oh, hey, Brayden. Oh, thanks, Brayden. Yeah, I was really upset about not being able to live stream last week. But you know, if I don't have at least a week to recover from a live stream, then it seems like it's too soon. So because I had waited to do my live stream on Sunday, okay. Oh, there it is. Okay, good. Okay, here it is. I love you. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Thank you. Yes. Okay. Oh, yes. I feel that. I feel that good. And say it towards myself, not to him. Yes. Thank you. I love you guys. I love you guys so much. Yeah. Okay. So let's do some of these tarot cards. Okay. Let's see what next week's energies are going to be now that I unloaded all the things I needed to talk about. So yeah. Definitely, would I recommend though watching Doom Patrol? Yeah, I think so far, from what I've seen, it's pretty decent show. It just is it's just not your typical superhero show. I just really honestly feel like it's way more realistic when it comes to dealing with real traumas that people have gone through and what that looks like. I can't even recommend, like, especially the Jane timeline, that one, you know. Eventually, just so you know too, Dorothy was able to, you know, the fear that her father had, which was that she would, in her young state, in her 12-year-old brain, which she was, for some reason, she like wasn't aging or doing it, like growing up at all for like so many years and stuff like that. And so he was like, you know, she's always going to be this child. He thought, she's always going to be this child. And children make foolish mistakes and wishes, right? So he like made her promise, don't ever make a wish. Don't ever even say the words, I wish. Which I was like, wow, like that. Like he understands the power of wishes, especially if you have that young mind and you don't, and you have this ancient being that is listening all the time and ready, willing, and able to do something about the wishes that you're making. You know, eventually she did start to grow up though. Eventually some things changed and she did start to, like, she got her period, you know, she's starting to fill out and stuff like that. and she was ready to become a woman because she was actually a lot older. She was in the body of like a 12-year-old, and it almost was like her overprotective father kind of kept her that way. And when he finally was able to step back some, she was able to step into the shoes of womanhood. She was able to have an initiation basically from her tribe in spirit, where they gave her these red moccasin boots or whatever. And she was like, it's time. Her mom came to her in a vision and was like, it's time for you to become a woman. And when she was able to do that, and she was able to learn to control her own thoughts and her own desires, even when she was afraid, she was able to make it so that the Candlemaker wasn't just going to go out and hurt everyone. Like, apparently the Candlemaker entity also was evolving with her and growing up with her. Okay, so the whole ideal that she was going to destroy the world became non-existent, because now she's actually a protector. And that's just one of the reasons I really liked that storyline. She was actually such a cute, in my mind, in my opinion, she was actually a pretty cute little girl, as far as her, like, brilliant acting. And obviously not physically, she had like an ape-like face or whatever, but even that kind of grew on me. And I really loved the actress, the way she just brought a certain spark to it. I think she's honestly one of the best actors that's on the show, next to Brandon Fraser as Cliff, because that's who is Cliff, by the way. Brandon Fraser, whom I love from The Mummy and many other movies. He's Cliff, and he is hilarious. Hilarious. Love me some Brandon Fraser. Oh, come on. Don't do that to me, cards. Okay, so we're like, hey, focus, Cassandra, focus. It's time to focus. Okay. I do humbly request that you please assist us in doing a reading for the collective for next week's energies. I ask that you please let us know what it is that we need to be aware of. Be clear and concise. Yes, please. Please do assist. All right, for the collective for next week's energies. Oh, I'm in a good place. Next week's energies. Okay. I'm feeling pretty good about it so far, from the feelings that I get when I tap into it. Next week, things are still winding down for fall. The energy of endings, right? Endings as all the fall leaves fall down off the trees. Okay, so what does the collective need to know? Tell us the cards. All right, almost ready. You guys know I like to shuffle a lot, so bear with me here. All right, I'm excited to see what they come out to be here. Hopefully we get some different cards. I know we got like the same cards 2 weeks in a row. Almost the exact same cards for 2 weeks in a row. Okay, yep, they're about to be ready. Okay. Yeah, they're actually shuffling pretty good. So it seems like, I feel like the energy is for the week. Okay, I feel like it's pretty smooth and even keeled. Seems pretty level when I feel into it. Okay. Okay, what is it that we need to know? Okay. Yeah. Here we go. Just turning into my heart. The collective's next week's energies. What is it that we need to know? First card. Okay, the first card we got is the Hanged Man. Okay, so this card is asking us to be still, first off. This card is asking us to be still. This is a position or a situation that we are we put ourselves in. Okay. This is someone who needs to tap into their own enlightenment. Okay, when it comes to something that they're holding on to. Okay, it's about taking a moment to look at things from a new perspective. I also always think of Kundalini activation when I see this card. Okay, with the rising up of the fire here, and fire element going up towards his head. Okay, so quite honestly, even this is completely random, but even hanging upside down can actually help move energies, like moving lymph fluids. I'm getting like that would really help if you like jumping up and down. If you ever have one of those things where you can hang upside down, like that's really helpful for the back and everything like that. But as far as the energies go, the hangman speaks on being in a position where, again, where you're the one that put yourself there, and you're the one that can get yourself out from it too. You can get yourself down from it. If you're just willing to let go, okay, you'll be able to just get out of that tree and flip right back side up. But maybe what it's trying to ask us to do is to look at things from a new perspective, look at things from completely upside down, opposite direction. Okay. And this is a pretty heavy hitting card considering it's a major arcana card. Okay, so where is it that you may need to look at something from a different perspective? This is going to take some stillness. It's going to take some, like a meditation type of energy, a meditative type of energy to really go into it. And be willing to do so, like, because that's the thing about the hangman is that he has willingly put himself in this. He has done this to himself. He has hung himself upside down on purpose. Okay? So what is it that we can learn about our life by looking at it from a different vantage point? Okay, let's go ahead and keep going though. I'll let whatever else pops through come up with that. Okay, so what is the next part of the message for next week's energies? What else do we know about next week's energies? Wow, okay, another heavy hitting card. We got the Empress card. Okay. Now, the Empress is the ultimate mother figure, right? So, she's representative of, Venus. Okay, so this is a lot of abundance. This is a lot of a life and abundance of rewards. I'm going to say rewards wants to come out. It's about cycles. Okay, because she has 12 stars on her crown there. Okay, 12 stars there. And that has to do with being the ruler over the seasons. Okay, of the 12 months. Okay, the thing about the Empress energy, because she's like very, very caring, very giving. Okay, very nurturing, just absolutely full of life. That's what she's really good at. The thing that I always that always sticks out to me though when it comes to the shadow aspect of her, like she may want to keep doing things the same way over and over and over again, but it's asking you to reinvent yourself in some way, because doing it the same way you used to do it so many like years ago isn't exactly going to work for her, even though she will be blessed with abundance and she will be very successful, but making sure to stay, what is the word for it? Flowing, like growing, keep growing. Okay, you have to be willing to grow in new ways. All right, and she will bless you with that when it comes to that type of growth. I'm trying to think of something else real quick. There's something else that was coming through a second ago. I kind of stopped it. I feel like around her collar and stuff. It's funny because that's what I was just talking about. I could feel more energy still right here. So there may be some more things that this needs to be cleared and maybe moved, because we got that red energy there. Okay, which to me speaks to action. Okay. Well, I can hear the kids outside playing. It's distracting me now, of course. Okay, so she's definitely the ruler of her own kingdom. Okay, and it's like perfect timing for the fall. We got this wheat shaft coming out here. So the crops, the things that you've been working on is coming to fruition. Okay, like it's getting close to that harvest time. Again, with the seasons and the 12, the crown. Okay, it's definitely about this. It's definitely about cycles. So we got the new perspective. We need to take some time, be still. Yes, please shut the door. Okay, sorry, someone just tried to come in. So we got the new perspective, a moment of time where we need to put ourselves in a new perspective when it comes to mothering, when it comes to nurturing, when it comes to caring for oneself, when it comes to having an abundance, so to speak, and what do you do with that abundance? Okay, well, let's keep going. Let's see. I've been pretty good about not having too many as bad hot flashes lately, but of course, whenever I start doing the tarot, that's when that happens. Okay, the most. All right, but let's see the last part of the message, because I'm really liking what's coming through here so far. This last part for next week's energies. Oops. Oh, okay. We got the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, so again, it's so funny because this also speaks about harvest. This also speaks about taking a moment to really reflect and look at what it is that you've created and what it is that is being reborn and being birthed, that you're going to be able to, it's going to benefit you in your life. That is for sure. Okay, like he's holding this goose. I always think of the goose with the golden egg. So perhaps there's a golden egg that you are like, I feel like money, like a nest egg, right? Okay, so there's something and you're just watching it and you're just being still and you're looking at it and you're feeling more grounded, more like you have more to, you're almost waiting to receive, so to speak. Okay, because again, Pentacles energy is also about giving and receiving. Okay, but in this case, you're like preparing yourself to receive. And maybe that's what the Hanged Man is about, is needing to go to that quiet, still place and to really do some contemplation and put yourself in someone else's shoes, or look at something from a different perspective. Look at it from a more nurturing and caring place. Okay, look at it more from a cycles type of place. All right, where it's like it's getting close to harvest. Okay, and you're about to reap what you've sown. All right, it's not exactly that time yet, because again, he's not picking the things off the vines. He's not doing that, but he is watching and he's noticing that it's growing and it's coming to fruition and it's getting bigger and more of them. Okay, and it's almost time to harvest that. It's almost time. So where is it in your life that you have been planting seeds and ideals? Okay, and now you've been watching them grow and it's almost that time to harvest them. Pay attention to where that's at, because obviously that's the next step from the 7. The 7 is a very spiritual number even. Okay, so this is like gifts from heaven, I'm hearing. The gifts from heaven that you've been growing and maturing and incubating, so to speak, because that's what, like, the mother has been incubating that with you. The feminine energy has been incubating that. Okay. So yeah, I really feel quite positive about this next week's energies, other than it almost feels like the cards are actually expressing for me exactly the type of energy that I was feeling, where it was like just kind of like it wasn't a lot of ups and downs. You know what I'm saying? It was just kind of smooth, like it's just like when you're on a path from one goal to the next, like, or on taking a boat ride, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? It's like smooth waters and you're getting there, but it's not going super fast. It's not going super slow. It's just kind of God, there's a word I want so bad and I cannot pull it out. It's like, hold on, guys. One second, guys. Please, yeah, sorry about this. Here you go, sweetie. She needed her sweater. She needed her sweater. Okay. So yeah, there's a word though that I'm looking for. It's like even keeled, but it's not even keeled. It's something like, oh God, come on. Smooth and steady goes the course, so to speak. There's a specific word that's not coming to me. I apologize, guys. If it comes later on, I'll shout it out. But so that is that tarot spread for next week's energies. Okay. All right, so let's do one more though, because you know I love to do my Adventure Time tarot cards. I know, right? Oh, Geraldine, I know, I'm loving it too. If there's anything else you can add, definitely add it in the chat. Yes, nurturing ourselves. I'm getting that. Yes, I'm definitely getting that feeling from it. How do we nurture ourselves? You know, really stopping and looking at that again. That goes actually really perfectly with the hangman energy too. It's like we need to stop and look at the ways in which we nurture ourselves. Okay, and what we can get out of that harvest right there. What is it that we are sowing, so to speak? I feel it. I feel it so good. It's just always hard putting it into words more is what it comes down to. But I'm getting better. I'm getting better at being able to put the feelings into words. I'm trying anyway. And for a Gemini too, like, what is even the? I'm a Gemini, for God's sake. I should be able to use my words quite well, right? Okay. So let's do the Adventure Time Tarot. Because y'all know I love me some Adventure Time. And you know, and everyone who's still here or it's just popped in, like, thank you guys for being here. If you've been here from the beginning, thank you for being here for this long. I really appreciate it. If you could help me out by hitting the like button before y'all head out, you know, please do. Please like and subscribe to my channel so that you can come and hang out with me again. Have some fun things to talk about, some new fun shows to talk about. Which I will be getting into some more of those. Okay. Wow, cards just been trying to fly out. That's interesting. They don't usually do that. But now we're just going to cut the deck up in a couple different ways here, so that way I can really get the energy of next week. Cards. And they're shuffling pretty good, so that's a good sign. Again, that smooth sailing. I get that even keeled energy still for this next week. Yes. Okay, so what do we need to know about next week? Okay, one more time, guys. I appreciate you sticking this out with me as I do my morning shuffles. Really appreciate that. What was there? Jupiter? Wait. We have Mercury and Mars opposite Jupiter during this lunar eclipse. Go Geminis. Brayden. Brayden's a Gemini too. Okay, so. Okay, for next week. Okay, I feel it. I feel it tuned into the cards. I feel the energies for next week in the cards now. Yep, we're looking at next week, guys. Give us what it is that we need to know, please. Oh, I just love you guys being here so much. Thank you so much. It means so much to me. Serious. Okay, so okay, don't get emotional today, Cassandra. I'm not crying today. You're not crying on stream today. Okay, so all right, go ahead. Okay. Yep, we're tuned in. Okay, for next week's energies, tell us what we need to know in these Adventure Time cards here, guys. Tell us. For next week. Okay. All right. Wow. First we had the Empress on one side, right? And now we got the Emperor. Okay, the Emperor. All right, so first we're going to talk about the character, and then we'll talk more about the traditional meaning, basically, of the Emperor. Okay, so the character we have in this particular this particular tarot card, okay, is Joshua, Jake's dad, okay, which makes a lot of sense that he would be the Emperor, okay, because it's very much a dad figure, okay, he's very much the masculine equivalent of the Empress, okay, so he's going to be much more about structure and discipline and doing things in a certain fashion, a certain way that that is set up in a certain order, like that. He really enjoys that type of energies, I guess you could say. I feel like there's a certain planet that I could relate to it with. Okay, I don't really get a Mars feeling with it. It feels more like a, I guess, Saturn energy actually. But Saturn energy, I know it can be like a bad thing, looked at as a bad thing, but there are some positives to having structure and discipline and being able to wield that appropriately. Okay, so you can see in this card, particularly his passion here, one of his passions was pickle making. So he's got a pickle in his hand. He's also got this sword that he ended up giving to Finn and Jake, which is the sword with the demon blood in it that he ended up cultivating the blood from a demon in order to create it. Okay. What else we got here? He's got a little VCR with it's like a hologram projector, so to speak. So it's like that was the way that he would transmit his messages, was by making these little videos. Okay. And the other thing he's got going on in this card is he's got another sword on the ground. So this is going to be about communicating when it comes to communicating things in a structured and disciplined type of a way, that so where it can be received in the way that it needs to be received. I'm trying to think of anything else here when it comes to this. He's got a bunch of food around him. I've never noticed this before. He's got like hot dogs and hamburgers and another tape. Okay, I think it was Aries energy actually that this card brings forward, is like Aries energy. So it could be a little bit hot tempered, so to speak, quick to act though. Very good in a conflict, for sure. Will like be able to go to bat for you. That will step up there. Like Aries energy is definitely energy that wants to have a cause to fight for, wants to be able to fight for it, wants to bring that fire to a head, bring right into your face. Okay, and that was definitely this character's demeanor. He was also a detective, so this is someone that might need to go out and do some investigation work. Okay, but he's definitely comfortable in his role. Okay, and he knows his role. That's for sure. He knows the power that he has. All right, so your divine masculine is asking you to step up and look at some of the. They're asking you to step up and look at some of the things that are masculine in nature. That, like I said, that discipline, that structure, that that the men are the hunters, right? They're the ones that go out and get the stuff done. Okay, so like, where is it that you need to bring some of that to the table? Okay, you might even need to get some crystals. He's got crystals laying all around here. Okay, all around here. You might need to get some kind of red crystal. Okay, watch what you eat. Okay, don't really maybe indulge in junk food, but also like definitely make sure that you have a hobby, is what I want to say. A hobby that you're passionate about, because like I said, he's got that pickle there. He was loved to make pickles. That was something that him and that Jake loved. Okay, I don't think there's anything else. Let's pull another card now. Okay, so we got the Emperor energy. It's another abundance type of energy for sure. Okay, Carnelian. Geraldine says carnelian would be good to work with at this time. Yeah. Oh, shoot. That was actually the first crystal that I ever worked with spiritually. Was I had a carnelian mala bead set, and that was what I did my first mantra meditations with, was that carnelian. So I can definitely say that that is very good to have. It stimulating the blood, and especially. Okay, so I want to say blood work. If you need to get blood work done, that might be something that you need to look into, considering we also have the sword, like I said, that has the demon blood in it. And we're talking about carnelian, and I just know that I'm pretty sure that that has something to do with cleansing the blood too, that particular crystal. Okay, so. Okay, next card though. Tell us more about this next week's energies. We got the Emperor. Wow, okay. We got the Ace of Coins. Okay. So, first of all, this character is, oh man, I don't even know if I can say his name. Oh, Juan Kelyen or something like that. I forget. He's like some really, really weird name. Frick. Anyway, he's one of Jake's children. Okay. This is the child of his, though, that was very much into finances, into making money. Okay. Into like buying up homes and renting them out to people. Like the typical businessman 9-to-5 job. That was this character. Okay. And all he wanted was for his dad to also get into that, was to be more adult, be more grown up. Okay, and Jake never would. Jake, like, he even at one point, this character bought Jake and Finn's home. Okay, in order to teach him a lesson. He wanted his dad to grow up. Okay, so he bought their home, and he rented it out to a bunch of people until Jake finally figured out that what he really was asking for was his father's love and attention. Okay, so he made him a present, which is this gift that he's holding right here. This is actually this weird ocarina that he made for his son, and that was what made him finally give over the deed to their house back. And it was a very interesting episode of Adventure Time, quite honestly. It was very frustrating, but at the same time, it's like, Finn was going through the same stuff that we all go through when it comes to realizing how corrupt the housing system is and everything. And he's like, how can your son do this to us? Like, it's our land. And then they went and they dug up treasure that they had buried on their land in order to pay for more of the house. And he's like, oh, you dug that up on the land from the house that I have owned? Well, guess what? That money's mine now too. And again, Finn's like, what is going on here? Why is your son got to be like that? Okay, but if we just go back, okay, so that's the story of the guy on the card, the character of the card, okay? But when it comes to the Ace of Coins itself, this is actually a really positive and beneficial card. This is saying that the universe is offering you something of real worth, okay? Something having to do with being more stable, being more grounded, a real opportunity here for a new beginning of some sort when it comes to finances or material things, okay? It's like a possible timeline shift when it comes to, again, finances and material things. Trying to think if there's anything else I can think of when it comes to this guy. The universe is really trying to offer you up something. I'm trying to think of anything else. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. The opportunity with the fortune cookie, Geraldine. I see what you're saying. So there's some opportunity that's coming forward. Again, the universe is offering this up to you. And if you think back to the story, actually, that was what it was that Jake eventually had to offer up his love in a form that was material. Okay, he made him this ocarina in order to say, look at this. I made this for you because I love you and I care about you, son. And I want, like, it allowed them to mend their relationship. Okay, so there's opportunity coming. Perhaps, and considering we got the father figure here, right, too, perhaps it might even have to do with a father figure in your life, that there's an opportunity to create something more stable and solid between the two of you, okay, or another male in your life. Okay, so let's pull one more card though, just because I can tell I'm running low on energy from all the talking that I did earlier today. So 1, 2, 3. Next week, yeah, next week. Okay, the last card. I said no more of the same cards, guys. We got the 3 of coins again. So we're still working. We're still working on something. Okay, this is the card of apprenticeship. This is a card of really learning your craft. Okay, attention to details, so to speak. Okay, so in this case, it was this, again, why are the children coming up? So this having to do, these readings are talking a lot about children in this particular one, because we got Joshua, the dad. We got Jake's, it would be his grandson, Joshua's grandson in that Ace of Coins. And now we got his granddaughter in this one. Okay, and she had a goal set in her mind. She wanted to be an actress. Okay, but she had to put the hard work in, okay, which was a lot, in order to eventually have that role open up for her to take. Okay, so where is it? What goal do you have set in your mind that you want to be able to accomplish and get to this goal, but you need to put in the steps and the hard work in order to do that? And you are, because the 3 of coins is that. 3 of coins is that work, and it's showing you that you are doing that work, and someone is noticing. Someone is absolutely noticing that you're doing this work, and you're going to get there. Again, it's like that finish, that race. Okay, if you're trying to get to this end goal, well, for me, the 3 of coins always says that you're like, you're 1/4 of the way there, 1/3 of the way there. I think 1/3 is a little bit more, because this is like the 3rd week in a row that this, or the 3rd live stream in a row now that this particular card has come up. So you definitely are working hard on something. Okay, perhaps being guided by a fatherly figure. All right, and the universe is like opening up a new opportunity for you to make a timeline shift. That is something that is real and palpable, something you can touch with your hands, something you are creating. Okay, again, like a hobby, maybe even, but it's something that you're really working on, because like that's the thing that stuck out to me when it came to the Emperor, is the fact that he had that pickle, and I know that he loves to make those pickles. Like, it brought him joy, okay, to figure out different recipes in order to make these pickles the best. And he loved that his children loved these pickles. That's one of Jake's favorite things. Okay, and then we have Kim Kil-wan, I think is how he says it. Then we got him, and he's got the gift that his dad gave him. So perhaps this is about gift giving too. If there's some gift that you've wanted to give, of actual physical gift that you've been wanting to give to someone, I'm just going to throw that one out there. That might be a little side note for someone out there to relate to. But ultimately, you are working on something that is physical and tangible in the world, and grounding yourself more in the world. And it is showing, and people are noticing. And I think in the long run, you're going to be quite happy with the results. You're going to get to that goal, but keep your focus on that goal. Okay, because that's what it's going to take. It's going to take that structure and that discipline. Right? It's going to take you continuing to work on it, and continuing to grab and seize that opportunity. All right, and see the value that it has. See it for what it really is. Okay, is what I'm hearing. Okay, so I feel really good about that message. I'm trying to see if there's anything else left, though, for me that spirit might want to draw my attention to. I do keep seeing this. They keep pointing me to tree trunks here. She's like way down there in the bottom. Okay, the elephant in the room, so to speak. So, yeah, not sure what that particular thing is supposed to mean. The elephant in the room. Hopefully that matches out there for someone. I'm sure it'll all click in for me later on. That's what always happens to me. It's like I do these readings for you guys, and then as I go on my week, it's like these moments in my life happen, and it's like click, click, click. I'm like, oh, there it is. Yeah. Thank you, Geraldine. Oh, Geraldine, I love you. Yes, teamwork. Oh, that is another part of the message, I guess you could say there for that three of pentacles, 3 of coins. Okay, is teamwork. Mm-hmm. Is that don't be afraid to ask for help. Mm-hmm. It's good to have people on your side. Yeah, really like that. Okay. As I'm sure you can hear, my voice is getting like slower and slower. Oh, Thesis, hey there. Can I have a card about gold? Is that what you're asking? I have a card about gold. What do you mean? You asking me to pull a card for you? You know, actually, I think I was going to do that next week. I feel like I'm ready to pull cards for people in the chat again, but I'm going to do that next week because I just was not prepared to do that this week. So I had all these other things that I had to do and talk about. So I was like, yeah, I'm not ready for that. But yeah, if you come again next week, I can pull. I'm going to pull cards for people in the chat next week. That's what we're doing. We're having tarot time next week, the whole time. All right. Okay. And Geraldine is an amazing tarot reader too, guys. Astrology and tarot. She is amazing at it. You know, when we were in that Blue Flame Collective and Matthew and Honora were both encouraging you, like, I know exactly. I was thinking to myself, like, that absolutely is true. Geraldine has some wonderful insights when it comes to tarot. Mm-hmm. And astrology. Amazing. You've definitely put in the hard work and it shows, you know. Mm-hmm. You've been noticed, so to speak. Yeah, something new is manifesting in the physical realm. Ah, yeah, that's a great way to put it. See? Oh my gosh. All these little tidbits that come up. I just have to trust spirit to tell me what it is that they want to tell me when it comes to this and not be worried about it. Because I'm not a perfect person. I'm not going to get it 100% right all the time, right? But that's really been the oh, it's absolutely, you're more than welcome, Geraldine. It's absolutely true. You've definitely shared some things with me, different insights that you've had about certain tarot cards and stuff, and it always blows my mind. I'm like, damn, that girl's good. That girl's good. She's got a real gift. Mm-hmm. I'll get there too one day. We'll just keep doing it. I mean, I do have a real gift too. It's just a matter of having the opportunities to use it more often, you know, and become more comfortable with how it flows in through me. Because that's the thing, I get hung up on it. Like, I second guess myself until I hold back saying all the things that I want to, that come through, like just trusting myself to just feel it and say it. You know, I hesitate a lot when it comes to doing those things, like pulling it and letting that just flow through. I'll second guess it. And so then I'll hold back, when really, if I just let it flow, I've noticed anyway, that if I just let it flow, I find out later on, oh, if I just said that, that was absolutely accurate and right. If I just said that, but I don't know. I guess it's like I'm so afraid to be judged and criticized, whatever, from my own previous experiences, that it's a real big hurdle that I need to overcome. But I will. I've come this far. Okay. So if there's anything else, definitely put it in the chat now if there's anything else. Oh, you're so sweet, Geraldine. I love it. So yeah, if there's anything else that you want to mention now, go ahead. I'll wait for a couple more seconds here. I'll wait for like another minute or so. Again, thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thanks for, coming and hanging. Thanks for listening to me. Just thanks for being a part of the stream. Thanks for being a part of my channel. Like, it really gives me something to look forward to. Like, I felt safe when I thought about it. I was like, you know what? I'm here for the people who want to be here with me. Like, I don't need to worry about anyone that might be watching in the background that doesn't like me, or wants to judge me or hate on me for what this, that, or the other thing. And I don't need to worry about those people. I'm here for the people that show up for me consistently. And I love y'all for doing that. Even with my crazy stories. Okay. I think that might be all. I'm still smoking, obviously. But I can say this, though, guys. I can say that I have been able to cut back. I'm very proud of myself for that. I have been able to cut back on my cigarettes. I started rolling my own cigarettes to save money. So that was the other thing that was pissing me off about it, was that they cost so much. So, and quite honestly, the type of cigarettes that I have to roll, they don't sell the tobacco from the cigarettes that I usually smoke, so they don't really taste quite the same or as good. And I refuse to buy a pack. So these are actually they're kind of making me cut back on the cigarettes. And then the next thing I'll have to cut back on and quit too is this. Like, it's all like, now that my life is finally the chaos of it and the emotions of it, the ups and downs of it are like starting to like level out. It's making it easier for me to step back away from these things, because I know that's what I was doing. These are crutches for me to feel safe. Yeah. Have a good weekend, Victor. Thanks for being here. Hope. I love you guys. The thing I'm going to put in the background next is that I want to bring back my beautiful artwork that Hope made me. It feels like it needs to be up here somewhere. I feel like I wanted to actually just get rid of this one and put some other things around here. I just got to find a way to have time to do all that. Yeah, happy full moon blessings. Yeah, the hunter's moon, right? Oh, no problem, Brayden. Absolutely appreciate y'all. All right, I guess on that note, I'm going to be ending it. Okay. Sorry for the graphic nature of my content. We did get into some crazy things today, didn't we? Enjoy. All right. Mwah. 3, 2, 1.